Hi there, this is Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. This is Tammy's Crafty Life. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you like what you see and you'll return. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. And I also hope you like what you'll see. I have a few fully finished items today and some new starts and some WIPS. This is a channel that these days is primarily about cross stitch. I do all other kinds of crafts, a bunch of other kinds of crafts, and I haven't done much of them since I became obsessed with cross stitch again a few years ago. So I do other things occasionally, but really it's mostly cross stitch. So I'm just going to jump right in. I have some fully finished items. The first one I'm going to show you is my Cross Stitcher's Paradise by Shannon Christine. This was a stitch along that she did over 8 weeks, I want to say. And I finished it. The last time you saw it, it was maybe half done. I finished it and I fully finished it. And here it is. It's in a shadow box. I apologize for the glare. I don't know how to not, maybe like that. I added some real scissors and a tiny little embroidery hoop. And then up here, I added a 2023 charm. And down here, I added a fun little measuring tape charm. And when I went to buy a shadow box, yeah, sorry, it's really glaring badly, but when I went to buy a shadow box, unfortunately and fortunately, all frames were on sale at Michael's, and this was the only one they had the right size. It's deeper than I want. It's 2 inches deep, but it's done now, and I'm gonna go with it. I gotta find a good place to put it, and I really wish I didn't have that. No matter what I do, I get glare, but it's done. I really love it. Last time you saw it, I had not finished this part. I only had the roof. I had not done that or that, and the rest of it was almost done. So I went on a stitching weekend with my sister, and I took 4 projects with me, and this is the only one I worked on for 2 days. So when I got to a certain point, I decided I was so close I had to finish it. Yesterday, I took a class at my local needle workshop. This one was on doing a flat fold, and it's a different kind of flat fold that I've done before, so I wanted to take the class. I also want to take all the classes that this person teaches because she's a great teacher, has lots of good ideas, and it will help me eventually with my own finishing business. I finished this picture last summer, I think. It's called Founding Promises by Silver Creek Samplers, and I don't have the pattern anymore. So here's my finished item. I don't know what fabric this was on. I don't remember. It's a 16 count Ada. I love the way Cecilia did the shading. Not Cecilia. What is her name? Silver Creek Samplers. I apologize. I'm not good with that stuff. I can't remember her name. And I don't have one of her patterns here. Anyway, Silver Creek Samplers. I love the way she did the shading in the flag. Yeah, I apologize for not knowing her name. But the way it's a different kind of a flat fold is it's got just a partial thing on the back. So this was fun to learn, and then I put chenille. This is Lady Dot Create Chenille in, it's called Freedom, and I thought it went really nice on this. So this is my second fully finished item. And the third one was a new finish and a new start. I was wanting to do a drum because I'm going to be teaching a drum class, and I wanted to hurry up and get one done. So last weekend I stitched this in one day and then put it together the next day. This is In the Garden by Doreen Jones. And I chose this one, but I changed the flowers to purple. All 4 of these are adorable. And here is my finish. Right, tied up would help. This is, I put it on the top instead of around the sides because it was round. The little kitty, I wanted, so the samples show a neutral background, but I wanted to use these fun fabrics and do crazy quilting. And so I wanted a lighter tone fabric. And so I tried to find something that the white kitty would show up on. This is a 28 count Lugana by Grace Notes Fabrics. I can't remember the color, but it's a pale green, and it's not really showing up green on here. And so the white didn't really show, so I outlined the kitty with yellow. And I changed the flowers to purple. And then crazy quilting is something I did years ago when I was doing Brazilian embroidery all the time. And crazy quilting was partially, it went along with the classes that I was taking. So I did embroidery stitches along all of these edges. This is done by hand. This one's harder to see. These fabrics came from Craft Warehouse, which I just learned yesterday is a Northwest only store. There's only 7 of them in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. But they are the one store in town that has beautiful quilting fabrics, and they'll have a whole line of one kind of fabric that all coordinates. And I had picked this up a while back, and I just loved it. So this is In the Garden by Doreen Jones. Isn't that adorable? And my first drum, and it was very fun and easy to do. Next I will get into my WIPS, and let's see, where's my pile? No, I'll do new starts. So my first new start is Honey of a Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. This one's Cecilia, not Silver Creek Samplers. So Honey of a Tiny Town, and I'm changing the colors. I don't like this. These are blues right here. I'm using the same colors that I'm using on the rest of my bee patterns. These are my colors. The fabric is Wheat by Fiber on a Whim. I bought it from Fat Quarter Shop, and there's my start. I think you can see that. So this was a blue house, and I changed it to green. So this has been a lot of fun to stitch. I'm loving this. And as I mentioned on every video, there's not enough time for all the things I want to do. The next new start I have is a tiny, tiny, tiny start. This one also is going to be a drum. This is called The Embroideress by Erica Michaels. Did I show this in my haul last time? I can't remember. But I'm doing it in purple. And my fabric, I don't know where the fabric is from. It's a 25 count Lugana. It's purple. It's beautiful. And I have this tiny, tiny, tiny little start right there. So isn't this fabric pretty? Look at the modeling in the fabric. I'm doing this 1/1 on 25 count. So there's my tiny little start. There's like 8 stitches maybe. And the floss I'm using is called Evil Queen by Bee Stitch Me. And it is beautiful. It's got really nice variegation in it. So it's my second new start. And the last new start I have, oh here it is. Carolyn, who is Seazook Stitches, was doing a stitch along with this for her birthday, Blue Rhapsody by Rosewood Manor. I lost something. And I'm stitching this, but I'm stitching it in purple. I started this on her birthday, I think, which was March 22nd. That was my last video. March 18th. Okay. I am using Weeks Dye Works Peoria Purple and Purple Rain. Let's see if this will help. Oh, there we go. These are my 2 purples. Not going to show very well on here because you may have noticed I'm stitching in a different room. I'm filming in a different room. That is because my husband is home and he's snoring in the other room. So I cleaned a spot in my storage space, which used to be a craft room, and I'm working in here. So here is my small start on Blue Rhapsody. The 2 colors of purple I think are beautiful. I'm really enjoying this. This is Lavender Lugana 28 count. I bought it at Acorns and Threads the last time I was there. So that's Blue Rhapsody, only mine is Purple Rhapsody. And then for WIPS, I've shown you my Blooming Tiny Town and how many times I've restarted it. Excuse me. This is how much farther I've gotten. I finished this amber colored house and I've started on this one. This one is blue. It's Summer Sky by Classic Colorworks. So I picked out 6 colors. Let's see if I can lay them on here in the order that I'm stitching them. Maybe not. Not sure if this is the right order. Yeah, I think this is the right order. So this is what I'm doing. This one is Marmalade by Classic Colorworks, Ivy by Creeks Colors, Amethyst by Weeks Dye Works, Amber by Weeks Dye Works, Summer Sky by Classic Colorworks, and Strawberry Fields by Weeks Dye Works. I do not yet know what the other colors I'm going to use will be for the roofs and other things. But I have colors laid out and we'll see as I go. I was talking before about in the pattern, I called it a chicken. This is not a chicken, it's a bird, and the reason the bird is there is because this blooming tiny town is to signify spring. I heard Cecilia say that or read it somewhere. I still am going to put my tree there because I still would rather have a tree right there. Different kind of a tree than this tree here. So we'll see how that looks. So that was Blooming Tiny Town. And then my last WIP I'm going to share is Pattern Cats by Doreen Jones. This was a PDF download. Very fun to stitch. Last time I showed this, I had like this part of this cat done and some of this done and was trying to finish this at the top and didn't have anything down here. And I'm loving stitching on this. This sits by my chair, and so this is what I stitch on at night, and this is where I'm at now. So I finished this up here, and I've done all of this down here. And I'm moving this way. My next color is going to be right here. It's going to be purple. And then I need to come down here and do this, so I can move this way in the Q-snap and keep going that way. I moved it to a bigger Q-snap. This is an 11 by 11, so it holds it. The height-wise is correct. I have an 11 by 17 I could put it in and the whole thing would almost fit, but it's too big and wieldy to work with, and so this even is bigger than I like. I prefer an 8 by 11, but because this fits this way, I don't want to keep moving the Q-snap, so I'm making this work. When I'm in my chair, it's more difficult. In a recliner, it's harder to get to the top, so I flip it over, and I don't know if you know this or not, but your stitches are the same upside down and right side up. So if I were stitching this upside down, the top stitch would still go from bottom right to upper left, which is the way I stitch, and that allows me to turn it. I would never turn it this way or this way because then my stitches would go a totally different direction. So if you didn't know that, I've had a few people who did not know that. So that's it for what I've been stitching. I spent a lot of time on Cross Stitcher's Paradise trying to get it done because I really wanted to be done with it. And I have a different project I'm working on that I can't show that also is taking a lot of my time. But I have some to use the words of Jane and Julie, I have some delightful deliveries. I was watching Colorado Cross Stitcher, her latest video, and she was showing new things in her shop, and she has phone stands and like a tablet stand that you could use for patterns, and they're made out of wood. I can't remember who they're by, this because it came in this fabric. So I bought a phone stand because I already have 2 pattern stands. I have the one from Chantel's 141 Design Company, and then I have the metal one from Amazon. And she had 2 or 3 options for this, and look at this. It's layered. This is laser cut, and they've colored behind it, and it is just beautiful. So I had to have that when I saw it. There is a pattern stand that matches it. I haven't talked myself into buying it yet because how many pattern stands do you need? I have one on my desk and one by my chair. I guess I could have another one that stays in my travel bag. I don't know. This comes apart, so it goes flat. And then you have this little canvas bag to store it in. So I can leave this one in my craft bag. I took it yesterday to the class I took and used it. I just received, so I had purchased fabric for Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia. I purchased a fabric that took forever to come, and then when I got it, it was nothing like the picture that I saw on the website that I ordered it from, so I'm not going to talk about that. But it did take, I ordered on December 8th, and I got it in March, which is a long time to wait for a piece of fabric. That's a stock color from a website. So I went back to the video where I first saw this. I think his name is Gerald Ginger Stitcher, Ginger Gerald, something like that. He did this on a really cool color. So I went back and looked at his videos till I found what he said the fabric was. He bought his fabric from XQ Designs, and he took one of her, I guess a standard color, and asked her to alter it. So I contacted her and asked her for the same fabric. And it arrived within, it shipped within 3 days, and it came from the Netherlands, and it took like a week and a half to get here. So that was really good service. I would definitely order from her again. This is it. And the Lady of the Flag is going to be beautiful on here. It's twice this big, but you know, I can't open it up that big, then you can see through it. And so I'm very happy to receive that and excited to get started, and I just have to figure out when I can start her, because I don't want to just put in a few stitches, and I have plans for other stuff. So at the same time that I got this pattern from Doreen Jones, which, interesting, I bought like 4 patterns from her. Now this weekend her patterns are half price, but I did have a discount code, so I got them for a discount, and they're PDFs, so they don't cost that much. This is the same kitty. This is called In the Garden Pouch. So it's got the same little kitty right there that I stitched, and it's made to be a pouch, but this would make a really cute drum. So I'm thinking I might stitch it and make it a drum. I'm not positive. The pouch is cute too, and it comes with instructions for how to make it into a pouch. But a pouch, I wouldn't want to have a really nice pouch like that I was going to throw in a bag, because the stitching would get messed up. So I'm not sure. I haven't decided. So we'll see. And then I was at my local needle workshop yesterday browsing, and because I took a class there, and I saw this this floss. Isn't that stunning? It was packaged together for Cherry Hill Stitchery Flower Market or Market Bouquet. The pattern was there, didn't do anything for me, but I love those colors. These are dinky dyes, and they're silk. And then I picked up this magazine while I was there, Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, and I saw this. I don't like these colors, but I do like these colors, so I'm going to stitch this in these colors, which I thought was pretty cool. I love looking at these magazines. I get lots of ideas, but every time I look at the magazine, it wants me to start doing punch needle. Isn't that a fun picture on the front? I've never done punch needle. I don't need something else to do. I have several other crafts that I do, but this has some really cool punch needle patterns in it, and it has some fun cross stitch patterns, but I keep picking these up because I do like to look at them, and this one, the whole color palette on the front just grabbed me. I thought it was beautiful, so I had to have that. I also found there, this is by Just Nan, it's called Frosty Gnomes. Sorry for the glare. Look at those little gnomes. And they've got, so I don't know if you can tell, there's a bead right there, and there's a bead in each nose, and there's the beads. But those can be stitched by themselves to make a cute little something. So I thought this was a lot of fun. My friend Christina loves gnomes. My sister Tracy loves gnomes. I think these guys are adorable, so we'll see when I get that out and do something with it. And then I had seen in other people's videos, and this is funny because I didn't take my wish list with me for stuff people had shown that was at market, but I still gravitated to these 2 pattern books. And I had lunch yesterday with Stitchy Friends after the class, and one of them was showing a pattern that was by Little Stitch Girl. I said, oh, that's cool. I've heard of her, but I don't have any of her stuff. Well, I lied. I had this in my car because I just bought it. So this is Proud to Be an American by Little Stitch Girl. And it's got some really cute patriotic smalls. So I'll be making some of those. Love this one right here. And this and this. So I'll be making those, some of those. And the other thing I saw that I was looking at it, I had no clue that this was on my wish list at home. This one is by Twin Peaks Primitives, called Patriotic Smalls. And this one is my favorite right here. But some of these others I love also. So we'll see how much of those I stitch. I know I'm going to stitch this one. Probably that one. I don't know what else. I like that these are on a different fabric. I just noticed that they're on like a gray fabric. So that was fun. And then my last piece of haul, well, it's not haul because it was free for me. I'm in the Shannon Christine subscriber group on Facebook, which is where that stitch along was with Cross Stitchers Paradise. We get a new pattern every month. At least one new pattern, usually one bigger pattern, and there's usually some smalls. And this was her pattern for April. It's called Bee Sampler. And I love all the bee stuff, which is funny because I'm terrified of bees, but I think all the bee pictures are so cool. And I wish I had seen this months ago because she has added purple, and I love yellow and purple together. I would have added purple to my, but the way that she added purple was she added some flowers, so I guess I still could. On some of my other bee things I could add in some purple. And it looks like her color palette is, I haven't checked the colors, but her color palette looks more like the color palette that I'm using than the one that's in the patterns, the other patterns I'm stitching. So that was it. I knew this would be kind of a short video because I did spend a lot of time on 2 different projects, and that meant I couldn't stitch on as many different things as usual. But I'm really happy with the progress I've made. I am so glad to have Cross Stitchers Paradise done, and that I got a good start on Blue Rhapsody and Honey of a Tiny Town. I do want to finish Blooming Tiny Town as soon as possible and move on to other things, because I'm going to probably use that for my teaching piece at the retreat I'm going to next month. And yeah, I just want to stitch on all these things at the same time, and I can't do that, so I have to set my priorities and pick, or every day stitch on something different, but then I don't get as much work done on it. So it is a juggle, but I love it all. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and happy stitching.